What's happening, everybody? Trey here, and today, reactions to the classics. It's time for a reaction to Beck and his top 10 songs coming to me today, courtesy of a longtime patron and supporter of RTTC here, my guy Brian. Brian, always appreciate the list you submit here, and today's going to be no different. I'm looking forward to diving in. I've only ever heard of Odelay in full from Beck, and then a couple other songs here and there, just through song reactions that we've done here, or through our live streams that are every Friday on Twitch. And so I'm looking forward to seeing kind of a wide range of his sounds here, and taking it through the year. So thank you to Brian again for submitting this list, and we got a little quick facts up. You know how we do it here. Before we get to that, though, if you like the video today, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that big red subscribe button. Upload every single day here at RTTC. And if you'd like to maybe submit a list or have one of us here do a song reaction, you can check out our Patreon page, which is going to be linked down below. And all that to say, let's get into these quick facts. Brian always does some cool little write-ups for all the songs as well, so we're gonna be having that. So Brian noted, just recently I did a deep dive of one of my favorite artists of the 90s. Beck is a vastly underrated artist using combinations of genres across the spectrum: funk, jazz, hip-hop, electronic, you name it. Just when you think you have Beck pegged as to what category he fits into, he changes it up completely again. If Kid A by Radiohead is the greatest 180-degree change in music history, then Beck is the artist with the most 180-degree changes. I like that comparison right there, Brian. He's so much more than the singer of a loser, although I still love that music video to this day. Get crazy with the Cheese Whiz. Beck released 14 studio albums, several non-album singles, and even a book of sheet music. Let's get into this list. If you're watching on YouTube, due to copyright, the music itself will be chopped out, but if you want to follow along and listen to the music, there's going to be a link down in the description, just for a little FYI for you there. So let's get to it. Number 10, one of the few songs on this list I actually know. I've only ever heard it once on a live stream. We got Deborah coming in here from Midnight Vultures. That was released in 1999. Brian noted that Beck's idol is Prince, and no track is a better indication of that. This high-pitched, soulful voice mixed with some smooth horns and that spacey sound. A gentle callback to Radiohead's Subterranean Homesick Alien just a year prior. Beck seems to be prompting a girl and her sister to, well, you know. Beck had originally attempted to record and release it with the Dust Brothers for Odelay, but he thought it was too tongue-in-cheek. It was debuted mainstream in '96, and as Beck noted, quote, "It became the centerpiece of the whole set. It was the song that people would react to more than the songs that they'd heard on the radio, so we kept playing it and playing it." So thanks for that write-up there, Brian, and let's get rocking with this. As always, y'all, you know me, I'm going to have this lyrics pulled up for all the songs here. Going to be following along, enjoying the tune, and then afterwards we'll see what we got. So thank you again to Brian. Let's get Deborah rocking and rolling here. All right, Beck coming in, starting our list off here on absolute fire with the track Deborah, and you know, one of those all-time I don't know if you call them great album covers, but it's it's one of those album covers that at least gets your attention for sure, and I think it kind of fits with the subject matter of this song for sure. Starts off very soulful with those horns that come in, just wonderfully arranged track here. Beck comes in with a very Prince-like vocal, hitting those high notes, unlike any other song that I've heard him on. Really able to just get up there and really channel the spirit of a Prince for sure in this one. But I think he made it his own enough. And the subject matter, very tongue-in-cheek here. A lot of lines that I found quite humorous. I like it. We start off, he's meeting this gal at J.C. Penney's. You know, maybe that's where I need to scour for a partner at J.C. Penney's. That's a place I haven't tried yet. He thinks her name tag said Jenny. They kind of go. He says, "I ain't gonna treat you like a piece of meat, essentially, because only you got a thing that I just got to get with." And then we go into then the line where you know, he kind of contradicts himself in the chorus here. "I want to get with you, old girl. And your sister." I think her name is Deborah. So we got Deborah and Jenny. I only want to get with you, girl, and your sister. So again, kind of playing into some of that sexuality, and again, kind of plays with Prince, especially in Prince's early years in those records. This song reminded me a little bit, just musically, of the Prince track "Bambi." I'm always a big fan of that, and just how energetic that one is. And this one, at points, definitely delivered the energy in spades. As a fellow Hyundai owner, I appreciated I said, "Lady, step inside my Hyundai. I'm gonna take you up to Glendale. Yeah, you're gonna get a real good meal." He says that he was packing heat. I think we all know what that means, Beck. And then he just goes on, and I find it interesting in the song that the girl never reciprocates these feelings. It seems. But as you would expect, whenever if somebody tells you, "Hey, I only want you," and your sister wouldn't be bad either. Just wonderful arrangement on this one. Great way to kind of kickstart this list, get us diving right into the Beck train here. So good job on you, Brian. Deborah, I think will be in consideration for that coveted top 3 favorite tracks for me at the end of this list. But now let's go to number 9. Think I'm in Love from 2006's The Information record. Brian said, "I know Beck talks about how he wanted to do a rap part for this track. And as much as I like hip hop, I am glad he went another way. Seems like a simple love song with some progression from a gentle infatuation to outright obsession. Beck likes to use the song in concert to segue into various covers, including Prince's Raspberry Beret." Great tune there. And I should mention, Brian also submitted a Prince top 10 list that we did a few months back, if you'd like to check that out after this. This was the third single, went to 22 on the Billboard Modern Rock Charts track. So with that out of the way, let's get in. I enjoyed that one as well. Again, that bass line underneath was kind of the foundation musically. It seemed had instances where strings would rise up in the mix here that I thought worked quite well. Kind of again with this love theme that's going on here. Just get a sense that this guy is obviously infatuated with this girl, and it's almost taking control of him, taking control of his actions, almost like he can't rein in these feelings that he's having here. I mean, that's evident from the first line. "I really think I better get a hold of myself. Don't want to let the night get ahead of myself. She doesn't know what happens when she's around." He bookends the track with that verse at the end as well. The chorus, the cadence of his delivery, I thought was pretty solid as well. "I think I'm in love, but it makes me kind of nervous to say so." And that's where the bass line really, I think, was able to shine as well. And he notes here he's kind of chickening out. "Tell her I was tired from work in the store, kind of stay at home." I think he's saving up money, though, to buy her something that she wants. Then he kind of questions himself in the middle of the track. What if it's wrong to pray in vain? What does it mean to fake your death, to wake up tainted? And so I see what Brian was talking about a little bit with that progression as this guy is kind of getting more and more involved with this woman. They take a little picture, do the little necklace thing, but he tells her, "Take off your necklace and throw it away." So that's a little puzzling as well. And then that outro, "I think I'm in love, I think I'm in love," just kind of takes us home here. Solid tune, again, showcasing some of that diversity musically that Beck was having here. And I liked at the start too. I don't even know what instrument it was, but it was almost like those certain strings were just plucking and reverbing out. I thought that worked pretty well. So now we're gonna go to gonna test my basic high school Spanish. Que onda, Guero. We're gonna go with that from the Guero record from 2005. Brian noted, "It's always my wild card." Brian usually puts a wild card at spot number 8, which I enjoy. I think the song translates into "What's happening, white boy?" and it is the most musically interesting song I came across on the record. Little turntable action mixed with sampling makes it special. Check out The Calling of Michael Bolton. Sweet, man. So number 8. Wow, this is it lived up to the interesting title that you kind of were hyping it up as, Brian. That's for sure. A lot going on in this one, but overall, I was vibing with it, man. I really was. I liked the almost hip-hop-esque beat that was underneath, little turntable action, and it really just kind of put me right into the middle of this neighborhood, this street. I could just picture everything that was going on from what Beck was describing in the track, and so that's what I like whenever artists, because that's a tough thing to do, to take something that's in your head, put it out into the music, to where you have the listener kind of go along exactly with what you were going on with your mind, like what Beck was. So I think that he did a great job doing that here, kind of with the sound effects that were in the background, almost like some car horns going on. Obviously, the voices going on and talking amongst the track, mixing some Spanish in there. Again, just kind of showcases the diversity and uniqueness of this tune. And reading to the side here, it said that Beck grew up in Latino areas and neighborhoods at certain portions of his life, so that probably obviously had an influence on him here as well. So I like the left field pick, Brian, that you always kind of put in these lists, because it kind of stretches us to go into, and listen to something that the artist normally doesn't do. And this does seem kind of a bit left field in Beck's catalog, and yet it still worked. He was still seemed comfortable in this type of sound. So now we're going to go to the Golden Age from Sea Change, and Brian noted that this is his favorite Beck album, where he was just blown away with the genuine sincerity of his voice. The song hints at the total desperation and emptiness so many of us feel. The comfort in life's hard times can be found in something as simple as driving your car. The song at first was supposed to be more blues and country, but he found a more atmospheric tone that fit Sea Change here. Records from 2002. And this is one that I think we played maybe on a live stream at some point, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. I've listened to a lot of music in between that time. So number 7, The Golden Age. Wow, shout out to Beck for just packing a emotional punch right here with The Golden Age. What a track. There's so much melancholy is over this one, and I know that Beck wrote this record kind of after a tough breakup, but one of the things that I think stands out on this song is that you can apply whatever your situation is. It doesn't have to be a relationship breakup in here. To kind of put yourself into the song, which I think is the mark of a good songwriter. Kind of has that versatility in the track. Starting off, it's had a little bit of almost like a pedal steel guitar, so I could see where it started off, wanted to go in that more country route that Brian mentioned, but they set the atmosphere so beautifully. I could picture myself just out kind of in a field looking up at night at the stars as this song's playing, kind of getting lost in my own head. I see here as well that Nigel Godrich mixed and engineered this record, which his work with Radiohead is just extraordinary, and you could kind of hear a little bit of his kind of fingerprints on this one as well. The chorus, oh, these days I barely get by, I don't even try. Man, we've all been there. I know I have myself at times, especially recently, and there are just times where you just feel like you're just going through the motions of life. And whether it was in Beck's case, this relationship that was so great is now gone. It's taken from him. And the way he delivered that line, you could tell that, like, dang, this is a guy kind of at the end of his rope here. And then that second verse was really striking. It's a treacherous road with a desolated view. There's distant lights, but hey, they're far and few. So still, that bleakness is just coming forth through the lyrics here. And the sun don't shine even when it's day. You got to drive all night just to feel like you're okay. Those simple things that Brian mentioned at the start, just taking a drive, just whatever little rituals that you have to, help you kind of get out of your own head. We all need those. And then it just finishes it off with a little synthesizer action as well, which I thought was a great touch. Wonderful, wonderful tune. That'll be in contention for my favorites for sure. Got to give that heart. And now we're going to go to number 6 on Brian's list here, Dreams, from the Colors record in 2017. Brian noted a little dance beat mixed in with some garage rock. What could go wrong? Absolutely nothing. Again, coming off Morning Phase, Beck saw no reason to repeat himself just because he won a Grammy. I like the track's energy and just the kind of track kind of track to get a crowd going in a concert. This was also the lead single. Rolling Stone ranked it at 23 on its year-end list for top songs. Was the highest charting single on alternative radio since his E-Pro song, which topped the chart in 2005. It was blocked from the top spot by Renegades. So let's see what we got here as we're hitting the halfway point of the list. All right, Dreams coming in by Beck here, number 6. What a just overall bop, a groovy track, man. Love the music on this one. The mixing of the danceable beat with some of that, more hardened, grungy garage rock like guitar lead that was buried underneath there was just on paper you wouldn't think it would work well, but like a lot of Beck's music, what looks like something on paper is kind of different in reality, and I think this song's another example of that. I like again kind of that concept that the dreams and escaping and whatnot. This girl, she's making him high, not literally, but through the dreams that he's having. He knows nothing gonna get me in my world. He further goes on, here we are running circles around and around and around. When nothing's right, just close your eyes, and you're gone. Again, kind of like that concept, harkening back to the golden age of just getting in your car and driving to make yourself feel okay, kind of. In the bridge portion, we kind of took back the dance beat and went full on rock, which I thought was another good touch here. And it just had a fun atmosphere around it, really for the entirety of the track, while still keeping some of that more harder edge through the garage rock like structure that it had in there. So another enjoyable tune, again showing the different sides of Beck here. And now we're up to number 5. We're going to Loser from Beck's record Mellow Gold. Brian noted that I was managing because Brian used to be a DJ, I was managing the station when it was released, and suffice to say, every one of my DJs wanted to play it. It was the song that put Beck on the map. His quasi-hip-hop and quirky, nonsensical lyrics was unlike anything out there at the time. When friends want an example of anti-folk, I point them to Mellow Gold, the record from 94. This is off of a little more research that we found here. It was written by Beck and record producer Carl Stevenson, who both produced the song with Tom Rothrock. When it was first released independently, it began receiving airplay on various modern rock stations, and the song's popularity eventually led to a major label record deal with Geffen Reckon's subsidiary DGC Records. After the song's re-release under DGC, the song peaked at 10 on the Hot 100 in April 94, becoming his first single to hit a major chart. It performed well internationally, and in the late 80s and early 90s, Beck was a homeless musician in New York City's anti-folk scene. He returned to LA, his hometown, in early 91 due to his financial struggles. He worked low-wage jobs to survive, but still found time to perform songs at local coffee houses and clubs. In order to keep an indifferent audience engaged in his music, Beck would play in a spontaneous, joking manner. Quote, I'd be banging away on a Sun House tune, and the whole audience would be talking, so maybe out of desperation or boredom, or the audience's boredom, I'd make up these ridiculous songs just to see if people were listening. Loser was an extension of that. Tom Rothrock expressed interest in Beck's music and introduced him to Carl Stevenson, a record producer for Rap-A-Lot Records. For the song vocals, Beck attempted to emulate the rapping style of one of my favorite MCs ever, Chuck D of Public Enemy. According to Beck, the line that became the song's chorus originated because, quote, when Stevenson played it back, I thought, man, I'm the worst rapper in the world. I'm just a loser. So I started singing, I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Beck acknowledged the impact of folk on the song, saying, quote, I'd realized that a lot of what folk music is about taking a tradition and reflecting your own time. I knew my folk music would take off if I put hip-hop beats behind it. Single ranked first in the 94 Village Voice Critics poll. In 2004, the song ranked 203 on Rolling Stone's top 500 songs of all time. Pitchfork ranked it 9 on their top 200 tracks of the 90s. So, Loser here, I mean, surely I've heard of this track, but who knows? It's not ringing a bell, honestly. So I'm looking forward after that builds up to hearing it. Loser, Beck's arguably his most famous tune. As soon as it started, I was like, oh yeah, I know this song, of course. Man, I could see why this put him on the map, because it still stands in 2021, the time I'm recording this, as unique, as interesting. Even if you don't like it and don't like his rapping or this or that, the beat is so it just is so infectious. It catches in your head, and it kind of has that grittiness almost around it in the beat. And then whenever he comes in with just kind of the again really kind of catchy way singing "I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me," and then kind of the little one-liners Beck saying in the background of their double barrel buckshot, of course, "Get crazy with the cheese whiz," "Drive-by body pierce," just random stream of consciousness type of lyrics in there, on top of just kind of the wackiness that goes on in the verses as well. Enjoyable track though. All that to say, really stands out, sticks in your head, and is one that I think the more you listen to it, kind of the more you kind of can grasp onto it. And if you're getting behind Beck's state of mind here, I think that's another way you can kind of connect with the song more. If you're going in looking for a Chuck D-esque type of rap in here, you're not going to find it. But if you're getting a guy who kind of is a bit tongue-in-cheek and recognizing kind of what he's doing here, as Beck is, then I think it works pretty darn well. So now we're going to go to number 4 on the list. We have "Say Goodbye" from the Grammy Award-winning 2014 record Morning Phase. Brian noted that he won this. Then, despite Kanye's thoughts on it, he deserved it. Yeah, what Kanye thought, I think Beyonce should have deserved the album of the year that year. But Beck produced and wrote all the material, played 20 different instruments on it. Textures likened much to that of Sea Change, with more of a focus on songwriting and atmosphere. Easily my favorite track from that album. This was also the 3rd single from this record, so let's get it. All right, "Say Goodbye" coming in at our 4th spot here, and definite, just the little I know off of Sea Change. Could definitely see where some inspiration was taken from there. You had that acoustic guitar, which was really the driving force musically of this track, on top of letting the lyrics and Beck's vocal performance kind of be the star of this song. And again, I liked how he kind of switched up the chorus. He says, "These are the words we use to say goodbye," throughout the song, and then at the very end it switches, "These are the words you use to say goodbye." So obviously a relationship on the rocks, not going in the way that these people would probably hope. Breakups imminent, and at the end of the song it figures out that "Sort it out, let it burn, and empty out an empty drawer. In my pocket, there's nothing more." And then, "These are the words you use to say goodbye." And he also phrases in that first verse, like, "Is it time to go away? Try again another day?" These are questions that they're asking themselves. These are the words they're using to say goodbye to each other. That pull in a relationship when you know the end's near, and you still think to yourself, man, can we maybe work this out? I thought Beck did a fantastic job getting that feeling out into this song, and it's one that I think a lot of people will be able to latch onto and relate to, and just kind of that almost folky country-esque guitar tuning that was in there fit it quite well. So now, y'all, we're in our top 3. We're going to the one Beck record that I've heard in full, Odelay, with the track "Where It's At." This was released in '96. Brian noted from its most acclaimed record, or at least most identifiable one, this song has a beautiful mixture of funk, soul, and hip-hop, with a bit of sample from the electro hip-hop band Mantronics. There we go. How Beck can make a song that is largely organ-driven go on to win a Grammy is sheer genius. This was the lead single, has a number of spoken samples that Beck and the Dust Brothers incorporated into it. Many of these come from an obscure sex education album titled "Sex for Teens," Where It's At, a subtitle Beck borrowed. Beck earned a Grammy Award for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance for the song, and in 2011, NME put it at 76 on its 150 best tracks of the past 15 years. All right, "Where It's At." coming in at number 3 from Odelay. And again, as I was kind of mentioning in the reaction as the song was going, this is one of those where you literally don't know what's going to happen the next second. Beck constantly keeps you on the edge of your seat, wondering where he's going to go, flexing his creative muscles there. And this you can't even put this song in a genre, man. It's literally got a little bit of everything going on, and with that organ and piano work at the very start, just kind of gets you thinking, okay, what's Beck gonna do here? And you're not prepared for the the next 5 minutes for the twists and turns that he does, and that's what stands out to me. One of my favorite parts is the whole the chorus, man. It's one of those that you can kind of just get behind real quick, learn real quick where it's at. I got 2 turntables and a microphone. You can see that progression coming off of a track like Loser that was a couple years before this. But I do think this is a better song than Loser, as Brian does. It's a little more refined. It seems that he was able to kind of hone in kind of that stream of consciousness from Loser and turn out this hit, like kind of the clapping in the background as well. The samples from the little Sex Education album were another unique twist that is found in this tune. Just all in all, man, one that's oddly catchy and that you can get behind. You might have to prepare yourself to listen to this, get into the right mind state, but I think that Beck does a good job of kind of easing you in at the start with that organ, and then you're ready to go for the next 5 minutes for what he's got. So enjoyable tune there. This is one of my favorites off of Odelay. And now we only got 2 tracks left, y'all, and we're gonna go back to Guero. From 2005 with E-Pro. Brian noted this is the lead track off the record, and I first heard this when Beck performed it on SNL, which features some weird stand-in-place marching dance from his entourage. Even though largely a rock track, still uses some sampling, this time from the Beastie Boys, which I know Brian's a big fan of. Track again proves Beck was willing to take a full about face coming off of Sea Change just 3 years prior. It was his second number 1 on the modern rock chart and his first in 11 years. Beck suffered a spinal injury during the shooting of the video while harnessed inside a moving wheel. His injuries forced him to limit his touring for a number of years before making a recovery. Wow, just a little quick fact to throw in you there. Only 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Don't know this song. A lot stands out here. I think the sampling of So What You Want by the Beastie Boys was, again, excellent decision by Beck here. It seems the samples he uses always enhance the song instead of taking away. Sometimes in samples you're like, oh man, I'd just rather listen to the original track. Beck, it seems, just through this list, he's able to sample tracks that go more for his creative vision as opposed to using the sample kind of as a foundation to propel his own stuff and creativity. It's kind of the other way around. Guitars were so crunchy in there as well, and heavy at points, which I thought was tight. And reading at the site here, it's structured in a cool way too. If you haven't listened like this, go back and do so. It was written in segments of 20 seconds. So like the intro lasted 20 seconds, and the verse last, then like the chorus is 20 seconds. So every 20 seconds it switches up, and I think you could feel that in the song because it again felt fresh. I mean, it's not a very long song, only 3 minutes 20 seconds, but it's one where the time seemed to just go by really quick. I was looking down, surprised that it was already up. I like some of these lines that he has in here. Don't forget to pick up what you sow, talking trash to the garbage around you. I thought that was a nice play on words, the whole talking trash, to the garbage around you. So the people you think that are garbage, you're talking noise to them, essentially. That was a cool little wordplay. Of course, just kind of the vocalization of the na 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 na. Yeah, it's simple yet effective, man. Been used in so many songs, obviously, throughout the years. Pointing to just almost, I don't know if evil's too strong a term, but just the darkness out there But he notes, I won't give up that ghost. It's sick the way these tongues are twisted. The good in us is all we know. There's too much left to taste that's bitter. So I like that there is kind of that message of hope underlying the tune as well. So good choice there, Brian, for number 2. And now, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 Beck song on Brian's list. A song that we've actually done a song reaction to, and man, this is probably my favorite Beck song as well. We got Lost Cause from the great Sea Change from 2002. Brian noted Sea Change was his creative response to his recent romantic heartbreak, and no other track personified this more than Lost Cause. Song expresses the limits that we all have in fighting to keep those we love in our life, especially if doing so causes more pain. This was a song that prompted my Beck deep dive, and I wasn't disappointed. Well, let's listen to this absolute wonderful, just heart-wrenching tune. And after that, I will give my top 3 favorites. Man, it's just such a gorgeous song, such a pretty, beautiful melody on top of just very honest and a bit heartbreaking at time lyrics, especially, knowing the backstory of how Beck was able to kind of harness his sadness from his real life breakup into a track like this that again so many can relate to. Starting off, your sorry eyes cut through the bone. They make it hard to leave you alone. Leave you here wearing your wounds, waving your guns at somebody new. And then we have the chorus, baby you're a lost, baby you're a lost, baby you're a lost cause. The breakup is now coming in. That negativity that arises in these breakups is coming through in Beck here, and he kind of just goes through what he's losing by losing this relationship, and then just kind of musing on relationships in general, saying they know your secrets and you know theirs. This town is crazy, nobody cares. And he then goes to noting, building on in the chorus, I'm tired of fighting for a lost cause. So that's one of the lines I like in this, because he notes that, oh, this is a lost cause and this sucks, yet at the same time he recognizes, man, I'm tired of fighting for somebody who's a lost cause, essentially, and I know we're not going to get back together. But then there's also some ambiguity in here. He's tired of fighting for the lost cause, but doesn't mean he's going to stop, fighting for it. He may know that this is bad to keep going back and harping on this, but sometimes it's easier said than done to just leave that be. Again, just very atmospheric, kind of a great mix of kind of that artsiness with the traditional, just kind of alternative rock music in here, and I think Beck just is able to hit those emotional cues quite well here, and worthy number 1. And that'll take us now to my favorite tracks. Really fun list here, Brian. I think that for people that are novices to Beck, such as myself, this showcases the breadth of talent that he has and the ability to weave in and out of the different genres. So my favorites are going to be Lost Cause, of course, at number 1. Deborah, which was all the way at number 10, is actually going to be in my top 3. I just thought the Prince inspiration and just kind of the humorous at times subject matter was one that just stood out to me, even through all these great songs. And then at the end, at the risk of putting Sea Change, 2 tracks from Sea Change on here, I'll just put The Golden Age as an honorable mention. And I'm going to go Where It's At. I know that's a kind of basic pick, but that song is just so wild, so much going on in that there's something new to pick up on it, I think, for every listen. Honorable mention, though, to, like I said, The Golden Age, to Dreams. That was a really fun tune that was groovy, and an E-Pro as well. So thank you so much again to Brian for bringing this list to us and the channel today. We want to hear from you. Let us know what your top 10 Beck songs are down below, as well as maybe your favorite record or 2 from him. I want to again shout out Brian. These lists are always so fun to do. He keeps the hits coming, as did and as does Beck to this day. So I'm looking forward to diving into his work and catalog. Hopefully at some point this year. I got a laundry list of stuff I need to listen to, but Beck is definitely on it. So anyways, y'all, thanks so much for watching and hanging out today, and until next time, happy listening, and I will see you.